Okay, so down there is Hookstone, and that is the path that comes out of there. The main path goes straight across to this side. That's where the car was parked, and the signs say that the Ringways path carries on in that direction still. From here, however, you can also go across here, because there seems to be a second path which runs along there. I suspect that just goes out into the neighbourhood, because this path here goes into a school, so it'll be the school at the end of that path there. So this is like a sort of crisscross, if you like. So I'm going back to where the car was. The car's gone now. The car, in fact, was for those train workers. And I'm going to continue along the path that goes in that direction. This one coming up here we don't need to explore, because we know it's a straight line to that school. So it's a little bit muddy underfoot as well, which is not so good, but there we are. But you'll see what I mean when we're back on the path. Well, look what we have here. That is a train passing across the viaduct, heading in that direction. It will go under the Oatlands Bridge that we've just crossed. Spectacular view of the viaduct here. We've passed Longlands, which I think is a nursing home. I could be wrong. And we're still walking on the path. Seems to go on and on and on forever. Still, it's lovely. Absolutely lovely. Right, I've come out onto full width, and the signpost pointed me up here, but I don't know whether it means I turn down there or I carry on up there. There doesn't seem to be a signpost either of the ways. I would imagine we're still heading in this direction, but I don't know. I might scout down the bottom of there quickly before going sort of up there. I know there's a big road at the top there. Head down this way first. This is annoying, because when I hit things like this I get delayed, because I don't know where the entrance to the next part of the actual route is, and that also means that I might accidentally pick up another route, because there are loads of different routes. They're not properly labelled when you have to cross parts of the town. That's what I find annoying. I could sort of look on a map, but again, some of those maps say there are routes where the routes are no longer there, and that sort of spoils the point, you know, doesn't it? I mean, I can look on a map and see exactly where the route is, but then you don't get to explore. Usually I don't mind exploring. The problem is that today I'm slightly short on time. I think I just frightened a thrush there. Where is he? Somewhere in there. Now this does say that it's a T-junction at the end, so at least I know this is a dead end. So if the turning's not down here, I don't need to worry about 3 roads coming off at the bottom here. And do you see what I mean? You don't quite know where you're going. maybe not T-junction. Goes along there, could be up there, could be back where we were. No sign at all. That's disappointing. Looks like I might actually have to call it a day, because I think that I might have to look on the map just to see where the entrance to this one is, since it's not obviously that close. That's disappointing. It's very disappointing. So we haven't quite made it to where we wanted to be after all. I might just turn left at the end here and walk up to that big road and just see if it's a case of crossing that big road, because that's the only thing nearby. Then I will probably, if it's not there, make my way back. I don't actually know what the time is, and must be probably about 1:30, something like that. So I might have to head back anyway. How annoying. Good news. Well, so I walked up to where full width joins the main road, and I found the sign which pointed down, so I walked down a bit, and then I found another one. They're buried in the undergrowth now, but if you know where to look, and it pointed down here. This is a fascinating road. This is called Stone Rings Lane, and what's fascinating about this road is that it was a possibility for us that was considered how many years ago? Gosh, nearly 13 years ago, when we decided to move to Harrogate. In fact, the house that we were thinking of was one of these just around here, and the path, Ringway's path, appears to go off at the end, at the T-junction end here. So at the end of Stone Rings Lane, here is a public footpath that leads to a road up there, but that is not the one we want. We want the one that goes down here, which is part of the Ringway, and I need to move quite quickly because there's a digger that keeps coming in and out of here, and I don't particularly want to get smushed by him, because he does seem a bit of an erratic driver. You know what I mean? The great news, apart from the fact that it's only 1:30 now, so I was running slightly ahead, is that we can actually catch a bus from the top of Stone Rings Lane. So I don't need to walk back all that way to Hookstone. I can just walk up to the end of the road and catch a bus. So with that in mind, I can afford to go a bit further down here. Now we're swinging that way, and I happen to know that Harlow Carr is that way. I suspect we will go from here to Pannel and then jump over, but I could be wrong. Now it's changed now, everything from woodland to almost moorland. You can see over here you've got your classic dry stone walls, and this looks nice down here. And moorland heath on the other side, you know, the grass. It's just a bit bumpy underfoot, so I need to make sure I don't fall, because that would be tragic. If I fell here, I don't suppose anybody would ever find me. So there's a bridge now, crossing a little stream. It's nice here. I do rather like this. It looks like the way is up from here. So I stopped to have my sup just down here by Stone Rings Bridge. And it's clouding over as they said it would. It was due to rain in the morning and be clear from all about 11 till 2:30, something like that. And it looks like it's clouding over, and I happen to know that we're only halfway to Harlow Carr, and we're not going to have the time, unfortunately, to get there. So we will have to pick it up, I'm afraid, from here. I'm going to go now to the top of Stone Rings Lane and catch the bus into town, because I've got to visit my parents at around 3ish. I've got to be at my nan's for 4. I'm going to have tea, and then we're going to the cinema. So this will have to be it for today. I chose very wisely and fantastically with the weather, so that I could make the most of the dry part. And we know that the road continues up there, and that we're halfway. So I think it's a half success.